Hope we're streaming. I don't want to waste my time here. I'm trying to make some money here.
No, we're not.
Are we not streaming?
No, we are.
Okay, now we are. Okay. We gotta work out the
Now
kinks
we're on
with
the
that
clock.
sometimes.
We're on the clock now. Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back, boys. Team Mentality Podcast, Part 2. Joining me today is Bader, Skip, Theodore, Arkan. And we're going to get right into it today, folks. We're going to talk about Black RP, which, as you guys know, is suffering from a pretty poor reputation.
A controversial topic, not for the reason you think, you know?
Yeah. I mean, let's not be crazy here. But historically, though, there's been a lot of factions. We're bringing a special guest, by the way, Compton. You should talk now, my man. Yeah. Welcome aboard.
Come on out.
Compton, you played around with Black Gangsters for a while now. LSRP, GTA World.
Yep.
What exactly went wrong on GTA World, man? What's going on with these factions? Why is the reputation so poor?
They're fucking trash, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even like saying they're trash, but they're trash, man. They're like garbage. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, you got a couple factions that know what they're doing, but some of them kind of know what they're doing, and then the rest of them is just like lost in New York somewhere, just standing on a block with Tim's on somewhere.
Well, do you think that's what influences a lot of these factions? Is they just watch these rap videos from New York and stuff? They don't really know the culture of LA and how it works, probably.
I mean, they watch one 50 Cent video and just think everyone's walking around screaming G unit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of weird,
Well, in your opinion, what factions are part of the main problem in the Black RP scene, though?
Oh yeah, most definitely Tong and Crip. City Mafia, man.
Starting off something spicy here. Spicy appetizer.
Is Morrison and Metal White City Mafia, are they the same thing? Are they
No, White City Mafia, I believe, is a subsidiary.
Yeah.
They are under them.
Well, they're all together. They just throw that whole thing in the trash, man.
Wait, what exactly is wrong with?
Yeah, I want to ask, like,
Shout out A1, free A1. Yeah, what is exactly?
Well, what traits make these factions subpar, though? Like, in your opinion?
It's just how they portray Black culture, man. It's like if you look at LA culture, if you live in America, you know the difference between everywhere you go, everyone talks different, everyone acts different.
Charles donated $20.
Different foods
Salute
out there
to
on
all
the
my
West
IFC
Coast. They act
compatriots.
different, you know,
Praise
like
the Curia.
the culture's different. You know, everything's just different, like the lingo, the dress styles, and all that. You know. Then you
So
look
it's
at
pretty
their
like a cultural difference, is what you're saying. Like, you don't know how to represent it.
You know, it's a big cultural difference. How are you claiming Crab Killer on the West Coast, but then you're walking around saying cuz and stuff? Like, on the East Coast, I could kind of understand, but on the West Coast, that's their main thing, Bloods and Crips. And you know,
I want to build off that, if I may, when you're done.
For someone to portray a gang on the West Coast and then say you're Crab Killer, and you know, you walk around with blue rags saying cuz, but you're Crab Killer.
Can you clarify what Crab Killer means for a lot of people?
For the folks at home.
Use my announcer voice on. Crab Killer is when you kill Crips. Crips is an organization made by Raymond Washington and Cookie Williams. Cookie Williams was a West Side Crip member that ended up turning into an A-Trade Gangster Crip member once everything broke down into sex.
Chicken rapper in the
rapper.
chat said they're from Iran. That's what makes it bad.
I think that's part of it. I'll be honest.
You guys.
No, I wanted to before we dive.
Skip.
I want to just mention it's funny, contrast and compare. We talk about the East Coast versus West Coast divide, right? And it's it's the La Cosa Nostra, this thing of ours, right? It's the same problem. It's this lost in translation deal where, but what's funny, I mean, for me, is that when you look at LCN versus Black roleplay, right? LCN, most people's interaction with mafia stuff is like Goodfellas. It's Sopranos, right? It's very codified. Godfather, right? It's just a few key classics that they've gotten way too into. Whereas what makes it more inexcusable that people who are trying to portray gangs, that are trying to portray growing up in an environment like LA, are not doing it justice. There is so much to pull upon. There's so many resources. You know what I mean? It's a living culture.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, when I first started doing this gang RP shit, man, there's a lot more access to gang culture in LA than it was when I first started. Like, you could literally go online on YouTube.
Well, I want to be the devil's advocate, though. I want to be the devil's advocate, though.
All right, go ahead.
I don't think White City.
Hold on. Okay. check the stuff.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Hold on, then.
Hold on.
Hang on, we got a shout out.
This
Go ahead.
is important. So from Charles, he donated $20 to GTA World Admin, by the way, guys. Donated $20 to the stream. Said salute to all my IFC compatriots. Praise the Curia.
Praise
Thank
the
you, brother.
Curia.
And
Salute.
before we jump back into the topic, Chicken Rapper did bring up something important. A lot of the hand tying that we see is when it comes to just because of the restrictions put on these gangs when it comes to like the server management, or we see like these bad gangs exist because people just don't understand it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. There's a lot of stereotyping too, man.
I have a question.
Well, I'm gonna go back to Fedor because Fedor wanted to play devil's advocate in that argument.
Go
So
ahead,
let's let him
Fedor.
continue that.
I personally don't think Morrison and Meadows is the problem by any stretch of the means. I actually think they've done more for Black roleplay, and I also think that they have their problems with portrayal. That's fine, but I think the problem with Black roleplay is the lack of accountability. I think a lot of these factions, I'm not going to say any specific factions because I run the Black R. They're too DM oriented. A lot of these factions cannot last a month without killing someone, right? They can't let. There's no type of character development, and we could say this, that, and the third, but it's never been good, bro. Like I don't want to start an argument, but I will say this: back when SSCC was around. It was still an issue. SSCC, I believe, was a problem faction too. So you can't just say that everybody else is the problem.
Well, that's weird because SSCC is regarded as like one of the breakwater groups, like one of the top ones.
Even though most of the screens are deleted from back then, if you really looked at the screens and read page for page, you understand these characters are really developing.
I have a question for you two after.
I get what you mean. There's a real deathmatch culture because what people do, even when they're role players, like even when they're good RPs, what they tend to do is when they kill a faction, they don't show like the whole scene. Like you know how they used to make videos on LSRP. They don't show the whole scene. They just show deathmatch, and when people see deathmatch, it excites them. So
okay, you're talking about
I can hop on the server and do the same thing. You know,
the meta culture. The way that it's presented to people outside of the community.
He believes it goes back to culture.
Okay.
But Bader, what you want to ask?
So this is to Fedor and Compton actually. As you know, every new player is going to roleplay Black. It's just the thing to do. Everyone wants to do it. But the thing is, there's not a lot of factions you can take example from. Old factions that you guys say is like good or whatever, they'll usually open up and they'll get closed within like a few weeks. So what do you guys think needs to happen in order for Black RP to get better?
I think people like Compton.
Do you need stronger faction leaders that will promote culture, or like?
I will say this. I'll say this. I think people like Compton. I'll give him his props. He's respected. I'll say people like Compton, my boys in SOS, and other. There's a couple other leaders that they need to create really good factions, and they need to just set the standard. Once you have 3 or 4 good factions, then everybody's gonna follow along. All right. If one faction is going out DMing every day, but this faction is highly regarded as they focus on character development, whatever whoopie woo, then they're going to be respected. And then,
and talking about our
lead by example. Lead by example.
Yeah, if you're running a gang faction and there's violence going on, you can't necessarily shy away from violence all the time. It's just a matter of how you deal with things. It's how you deal with things. Some people.
I hate to interrupt you, Compton, but we got some more money coming in. We want to say, go ahead, Arcan. What did that say?
So first one comes in from someone named Modelo Time Fool 33, donated $3 to the podcast. He says the following: I just want one solid faction that pops up and doesn't start shooting people on the first day.
That's a fact.
Second,
that's a general problem, though. I think for a lot of factions.
That is something we can issue. There's 2 more. One from OG Mudbone, donated $5. Get this goofy Fyodor off the chat. This dude doesn't know how to be Black IRL and talking about RP. Love the rest of y'all though, cuz. Peter Pergo, donated $1.
Fedor, do you want to reply? Fedor?
I'm not gonna respond to someone that doesn't want to know their true identity.
They're scamming me right now.
I think that's a personal threat.
Shout out Pete Pergo as well.
Yeah, I did.
Stuff is okay. We're gonna get to that, but I'm gonna let them finish up. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks guys by the way for the donations.
Shout
That's
out
the last one, but
everyone.
thanks guys again.
Well,
I'm all done. If you with those, if you guys want to keep continuing.
I have an open question for both Fedor and Compton here. If I'm not talking over you, Bader, I think you were trying to, or were you talking
No,
about
go ahead.
Okay.
Move out.
My open questions for you are twofold, because earlier in the chat someone responded to me, and they do raise a valid point that let me find it here. They were, I think it was Groovy Charles, the other Charles, who was talking about
That's a great fucking name.
Saying that it is kind of difficult to find that kind of culture. My first question before I address that is, the most interesting part of this to me raised was, I think Fedor raised it, was the meta question, was that people's introduction to this kind of role play is YouTube clips with heavy music,
No, that was
20 seconds. Was that someone else? Okay, but the point is, 20-second clips of people getting decked out, right? And then a bunch of really crappy comments and a link to the community. What do we do to stop that? I know you guys don't have the immediate power to do that, but
it's the fact of you being a faction leader. To be honest, like when I'm a faction leader, you might like Fedor could look from the outside looking in, and be like, yes, Southside Carson Creek, y'all was just death matching. But people could tell you, the people that join, whenever you join my faction, I always had a set of rules. Like I always make my when I make my factions and I make the Discord, I always make it elaborate as fuck. So when people join, they're like, oh, he don't want me doing this and that. If I go in game, do this and that, I'm gonna get in trouble within the faction. You know, like I always try to make a set of rules. I always like, and it's a game too, so I always set goals. I'm like, all right, so if you go in game and you role play this or whatever, you might get this title or this role in the Discord. You know, some with incentives, because it's also a game as well. You know,
right?
I don't try to force.
I don't think
a military organization, a paramilitary organization where I'm an OG, he's a YG. I'm gonna go up to him like, yo, motherfucker, you gonna get in the car right now and go slide. No, your character is your character. I'll let you develop it how you want it.
Right.
But the thing is, I don't push for 100% of the faction being shooters. That's one thing.
I will say this.
Go ahead,
Fedor.
I'm sorry. I think there's a lot of ego involved, and I'm the first one to say I have one of the most biggest egos on the server. That's fine, but I will say this: what the white RPers. No, what the white RPers and the Serenity RPs have going on with them is they're willing to listen to each other's criticism and take it in stride. Like
out of character
communication. White RP specifically is really about that self-reflection and self-criticism and making sure.
Right.
Yeah. For example, right?
And adapting to one another.
No.
It depends on
too, bro. I feel you. So.
No, I hear that, and I was just gonna say, like, for example, Compton was in the Black Card Discord commenting on some people's how they speak like they're slaves, like they speak like I don't know, they speak like it's kind of racist how they speak. I'm not gonna.
Well, there is a lot of stereotyping. I have to say, a lot of these black characters is a lot of stereotyping.
Yeah.
You know, most of the people that make black characters, they kind of do it in a parody type of way. So she was like talking like, yeah, you need to come over here and talk to the N-word.
It's some Uncle Tom shit. Yeah.
Like,
you also gotta.
Like, people don't talk like this in like 2021, and like the fact that this gets promoted so much by admins on the server, like you could take a bad faction like White City Mafia and how bad the portrayal is.
Wait, how does it get promoted? Explain how it gets promoted.
I would like to hear that.
Only because they're passive. But the thing is, like, what I'm trying to preach to my people is passivity too. You feel me? Because where we come from is LSRP. We already know that's deathmatch off rip. Any gang on there is deathmatch off rip and egos OOC. We're trying to break away from that. Somehow I still hold on to that a little bit. You feel me? I know I go in the chat and talk a lot of shit, but honestly, I don't feel nothing personal against them. It's just how they do shit. Like it's certain people. Yeah. Go ahead.
You were involved in it. Like you grew up in those circumstances, and you're saying that we need to be better than that. And
when I was coming up, I had a faction leader named Red Rum. Like when he was teaching me, he was talking a lot of shit to me. He like, damn, you fucking noob, better get it right, PM me in game and shit.
Fucking noob. That's how it was on Sam, bro.
Yeah, hold on, guys. I think Arkan has another.
It does fit the discussion you're having right now, though, Compton. From BG Mudbone, $5. He says, I'm joking with you, Fyodor. Real talk. Though, the issue with black gangs is just stereotypical representation. when I see names like Lavandratius, Tynet, whatever the fuck.
I think it's Lashandra
no gang beef in the
Tradius.
server right now has passive RP, no sign.
Man, I know that annoys the fuck out of you, Compton. And it really annoys me too. Like those shitty fucking characters.
Just
like
terrible.
literally, I seen someone named Willie Bullard, nigga. Like
What? Dutch Irish?
We saw today too a guy called Jarice or some shit.
Yeah,
Jarice.
Who goes out with these names?
Okay, so we have people who are rolling Scrabble tiles in a bag. They're playing Yahtzee.
They hop on name generator and just go crazy.
They're playing Uno. They're playing Uno with their names.
They put an IUS after any
Like
name.
And then they talk like they're like antebellum slave period. You know, they're talking that like accent doing on top.
Yeah, I was thinking about this.
It's either like a super ghetto name or like a stereotypical 1970s black guy name.
Well,
Bro,
this
Willie
hang on. This segues perfectly into my next question, the second of my two questions, and this is again for everyone here now. What resources? I just want to sum up what we covered with the first question, which I think you and Fedor hit on the head here, is that it is a personal issue. It's not you or Fedor personally. It's up to all of us. I'm teaching a lesson here. This is a moment of reflection. It's up to all of us to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Yeah. Okay. But on top of that, I think you do raise a very good point, Fedor, about faction management. About factions controlling themselves. That is really the biggest thing here, and we do need. You said community. Community came up. That's a big word. That's an important word. We need those gangs to be communicating and loving each other out of character, so that they
I
can
want to make a point.
That's
That's what I wanted when I first got on the server. When I first,
I
want to make a point. We made the first official IFM Discord or whatever. That's what I made it for, the leaders. But then, we started out, we didn't have anything. So while they're, marching on our block 30 deep to fight two people, they're taunting me OC. They're like, so I'm thinking like, oh, I got to get toxic too. That's the only reason I became toxic.
Right.
Because Harpies, when they first started marching on us, I'm like, hey, what was the reason for you guys marching on us? They're like, shut up, motherfucker. We just marched on your block, bitch.
I have a question.
But then when we start popping them up, you feel me? Like, that's just what it is. I don't know why it's so toxic.
Go ahead, Bader.
Go ahead, Bader. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a question for Compton and Fedor. So you guys are obviously you know the culture or whatever. Have you tried to teach people?
That was my question. What are the resources that we can use?
No.
Have you tried?
I'll say this. I'm going to name drop, and I don't even care if I name drop.
Yeah.
I've had conversations.
Yeah, say it free, bro. Say it.
I've had conversations with people like Crazy and stuff like that. I'm not
Who's Crazy again?
The guy with the
yeah, he used to lead the Hoovers.
That was the pedophile.
I have nothing but love for the guy, right? But
we don't know that.
We know.
He pisses me off because he doesn't care, right? He's comfortable with mediocrity, and I try to get that through his head, right? And that's the kind of vibe you get from a lot of these factions. They're comfortable with mediocrity. How many times have I said in the Black Card Discord, "Yo, let's stop block wiping, bro. Let's do hit for hits. Let's
say that almost every other day."
And then, oh no, bro, what are you talking about, bro? Like
we on that. Get back.
That ties back into what I was saying. When people are mediocre as our peers, what they try to do is make up for it in deathmatch.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it promotes
it. You'll go in the chat and it'd be 100 factions in there. They'd be like, "Oh man, what's up with Shoreline Crip? I heard they're trash." Then that's in a deathmatch video. Yeah, but we wiped your block.
Exactly.
Got you good, clean.
Exactly. That's real, bro. That's real.
True.
Like let's get over this, bro. We're gang RPs. You're gonna die in gang RPs. You're gonna get.
This is what I was gonna ask about Fedor too. I was gonna ask you, Fedor, like it's supposed to be the Black Card that's supposed to be the one shepherding these people, right? I'm surprised they don't take your advice.
But the thing is the Black Card is dependent on multiple factions. Like what people don't understand is it's kind of different from the Serenios and the Whites. It relies on other factions. I joined the
Sereno faction. Sereno factions and White factions, they always city friendly toward each other. They always have information in their chat. When you go to another Black faction, when you join them, there's like minimal information in there. It's always like pictures of the real life gang.
Well, it's like they're competing.
Like minimal information.
It's like they're actually competing out of character.
That's how it is in real life, right? It's very decentralized, which I don't mind, but it's decentralized to a point where people don't know what they're doing.
Well,
Go ahead.
And also, McVoy said in the chat, the real McVoy, I don't know
Like
if I
on
the real
LSRP,
McCoy.
oh, my fault.
He said, why don't they make a guide like Bosby did for white gangsters? I think he's
That's
referring
what I
to you
want to
two.
do. I want to do it, but then, it's some people in this community that you make a guide or whatever. Like, it could be a simple guide that could really help someone. You make a guide, and there's always a person that's going to argue. Then someone's going to listen to that person argue.
It's true.
On the guide thing, sorry to cut you off, but on the guide thing, I remember Jola. He made one when it came to drug RP. He wanted to make one to talking about like street level drug RP in like 2020, because it's like we had a problem where everyone was just like trying to deal. Was just trying to deal. What's it called? Kilos and stuff. And then members of staff that weren't involved in IFM at all. Like, you had like people that were from the forum moderation team who came out of nowhere and literally just locked and archived his thread, saying that it wasn't good enough. It wasn't to the standard where they wanted, when you had like threads that were literally
you will be fucking executed.
You know what? The building off that and
ISIS style. You will be barbecued African
I could make a
style.
2,000-word essay.
You will be put in a boiling pot,
time because people are not going to take it seriously.
hot pot style,
And I want to tell
Chinese
you,
style,
don't
Asian
give up
style.
hope.
And that's the fucking end of it. You motherfucker, you fucking piece of
I
shit.
want anybody who has something with energy in it about
Like,
Black RP, about guiding people to do it better,
Like,
even if it's biased. No, I know. But anyone who has the energy, put it out there. You've got to put it out there. We've got to overwhelm the system with guides. We've got to teach these people coming
Maybe not
in.
as guides, but just straight up being a proper example.
It's not about guys. It's not about guys. It's about people. People not willing to change, right? You could tell a guy 15 times, like, guys, let's stop block wiping. Let's speak a little English like a normal human being.
Well, then it is what Temple said.
Oh,
It's about projecting that. It's about doing that personally. Go ahead.
It's not just that as well. Remember, when you're a new player and you see people like faction leaders, you sort of want to say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna RP like these guys, and slowly you take example from them. But the problem is with Black RP and a lot of the other RP genres, there's no one to take example from. That's what you guys are saying, anyways.
Yeah, 100%. But even if there's someone to take an example from, like Compton was just saying earlier, if I okay, for example, if I go to someone's hood and I kill one person, that person is gonna be like, oh, you only killed one person, bro. That's kind of the point. I didn't mean.
Well, it keeps circling around the out of character question, right? It's about this pettiness of it, that you have to end up killing one person, and they're accounting for it out of character, as if they have an unlimited reserve to pull from in character.
It's not a matter of just killing one person. I don't care. You pull up on the block and I'm in a group and you shoot at us, that's our consequence of grouping up.
Right.
You should know, as a gang member, if we group up right here on this corner, someone's gonna fucking shoot at us and possibly kill everyone here. We're not gonna have civilians standing on the corner with us 24/7 because we know their mom and dad gonna be mad at us because we got them shot. It's all IFC responsibility. When you play gang RP, you gotta think like a gang member. If I stand right here with fucking what's a foreigner name? Don Tavius Bullard Johnson. Bro. And he's not banging, bro. Why
no, it's true.
It's a gangster next to me with his other friend. I'm gonna tell him, yo, it's hot right now. We in the war. Y'all might want to go inside. It's up to him whether or not he gonna stay outside to get shot with me or not. That's the thing. People don't understand the consequences of being around gang members in the hood. Like, it's gonna be victims there. You feel me? But my thing is, with the block wiping situation, that need to tone down too. When you trying to shoot at a whole crowd or whatever, you can't just chase everyone down one by one trying to smoke everything. Like, you can smoke as many people as possible if they stand still. But if you chase them down alleys and stuff, you're risking getting arrested or possibly even shot by someone coming out the house trying to defend their home. Like, you're not gonna do that in real life. You're not gonna chase them down. You're gonna hop out the car, shoot, hop back in. Like,
you're trying to get out as soon as possible. Like, you're not gonna stay there.
Like, people RPing teenage super killers. Like,
that's a major. That's in a lot of factions. Yeah.
Protagonist syndrome.
Bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, to sort of we have another guest coming on, I believe. Themel, is that correct?
Spider-Man T, also known as Blast.
Before we move on, just a little mouthwash topic just to chew over. I want everyone to think long and hard about how they personally feel about the rule to repeal ambient NPCs being around.
What? What are you
Well,
talking
you
about?
know,
What you mean, like
if-
when you in
if-
the public
if
place?
someone,
I think we're getting too
when
esoteric
you're,
here, Skip,
you
with
know,
these topics.
no,
Yeah.
I mean, with public places being role playing it directly as how many people are around as how many people are around. You know, whereas in the past, we used to assume that a public place had people around it publicly, even if they weren't player characters. You know what I mean?
Know anything.
You
No,
always
but
got to
then-
thank IFM for that.
Yeah, exactly.
You always got to thank IFM for getting
So-
that like changed because
I
people
just
aren't
think-
being like
I mean,
dead.
I think the admins, but I can't really say. I can't really thank all of them. There's certain admins that know. What
No,
they're doing,
I'm
certain
not.
admins
I'm not
that don't.
talking about all of them. I'm just saying like the
Yeah, I
people involved in IFM who were the ones behind like getting that change. Those are the people you got to ultimately thank in the end because they were the ones that like made sure the points we were addressing about like, hey, if this place is like if it's 3 like there's no one here, you can't just NPC that it's going to be populated.
Oh yeah, I think it's always about putting out fires. But by the way, I want to
Yeah,
welcome our new
let's
guest
get
here,
it.
man. Spider-Man here, Spider-Man T,
Welcome.
Blast, alternatively. What's up, bro?
That's for Tio.
What's up, man?
Oh no!
That's the man right here. That's the man right here. Yeah.
Yo.
Compton, you got to get up and give him your chair.
Oh shit.
No, keep going, keep going.
No, we can have everybody on right now for this one. We're
You're
wrapping up the
You're
block
okay.
discussion
You're all
here.
right.
You know.
Stick around.
I'm
stick
sorry,
around.
nervous. Don't ban my homies. Man.
Hey,
Welcome.
Nobody here's liable to be banned, at least not yet.
What's up?
Shit.
So we're talking about the state of Black RP. You pretty much
Yeah,
been
it has a
saying
terrible reputation. I'm sure you'd agree, Blast.
Yeah, it's awful.
Why would you agree?
Keep doing this. Shout out Dusttown Hogs.
I agree because most people that roleplay Black, I mean, they don't have much reference because most of the servers gangs that were Black were terrible. But
Yeah.
it's people taking the stereotypical, like whoever said earlier with
Peter
the
Pergo
box of
donated
50 cent
$1.
videos or taking some
Blast.
stereotypical shit from like the 70s. And
Maybe
throwing it. Like I'm literally like
Blaxploitation.
right now I'm not even in gang roleplay anymore because I'm in gang unit in PD and I can't be in it. But when I'm driving through and seeing people named LaShawn Andre Tavius or fucking Tyrone Sherm, like a whole fucking.
I just want to raise my drink. I just want to raise my drink.
I kid you not.
to Blast.
I kid you not.
You remembered the name perfectly. You remembered LaShondra Travius or
I
whatever.
take screenshots
We got a
of it, dog.
comment
It's
in the
like
chat. We got a
I
comment in the
take
chat talking about
screenshots of
Tongan
this.
culture is 100%
How can you
different.
fix it though, Spider?
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, like the best way, because I'm gonna be honest with you, like when I first started gang roleplay, I didn't know a lot about West Coast gangs. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. When my first faction was Serenios and MS-13. I thought MS was the same thing as Serenios, or the Mexican Mafia, because I didn't know shit about that when I was like starting out LSRP. I had to go through guides, I had to go through motherfuckers like telling me what shit was like, but I feel like it's so much more toxic in GTA world. Like you try to offer someone some constructive criticism, they take it as, oh, you
We
just tell
can
me I don't
agree
know
to
what to do.
disagree.
That's what it
on that.
was. Like that's what it was. Majority.
No,
of
I
the time.
mean, if you disagree, I get you. I don't.
No, but
that's
it's-
just from what I've seen. Like,
Yeah, but like,
it's certain people you could tell, like, yeah, you're doing
I'm
this
not
wrong,
being
but as soon
funny.
as you do it with
Yeah.
certain other people, it's like, man, I looked this up on fucking Google, nigga. Shut up.
I know, but the thing is,
Go ahead, Bader. Let Bader speak. Go ahead.
The thing is, you say it's more toxic on here, but like on LSRP, they used to DDoS each other and fight each other in real life.
LSRP, it had its toxic,
AO.
like, especially when hacks and shit came out and was
Yeah,
rampant. Like you say something to somebody OOC, you could expect a block wipe that afternoon. Yes, that's shit actually happened.
That's real shit. That's right.
Hold on. So I have a question for you guys. Theodore was saying he tried to approach that predator. I forgot his name. The guy that led Hoover.
Alleged predator.
sorry.
Alleged
Yeah,
predator.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think
Hold on, bro. Listen, I'm not here to argue with you guys. That guy's a predator. Right. Have you tried approaching anyone else, or is it just him? Because he's not the best person to
Personally,
approach.
No, I've talked to a couple people, but like I said, bro, I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like I'm like some gang RP expert.
No. But you know the culture though, and you guys probably know
to a
the culture.
degree. I have
I'm
people
not
I
an
talk
elitist.
to. I ask
I'm not
questions
an
to.
elitist by standard.
No. It's not about being an elitist, right? So if you're black and you know what's going on, and
But I
as
do
you
say,
said,
like,
it's a bit offensive at how some people talk.
I think
I've seen it myself with all the apostrophes, like, hey, yeah, blood, shit. Like,
And that's one more issue that was brought up in chat as well. The apostrophes, man.
Well,
people just put on a fucking
but here's
everything.
the problem. But here's the problem.
People in LA, white or black, they talk proper as fuck.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah, you see, you'll see like some project like what's it called, like some project dialect going on, but it's like that's not how they talk like 24/7.
Well, but what I want to point out is I think that the problem is for most people is that they encounter that, whether you're black, white, blue, yellow, out of character, and you think it's offensive or you think it's stupid, you encounter it. It is racist. No, it is, but it's also a measure of your patience. Do you want to put up with talking to this person? I have been approached by people who aren't robbing me. They aren't threatening me. And I will just alt-tab because I don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean?
I feel you, Skippy, because when I first got on here, it wasn't that many LSRPs around. So that was all we really had as far as black characters go. And it felt kind of, I'm not going to say kind of real. It was authentic, you know, because it's like they're not necessarily trying to be violent to you. They know you're a civilian. They treat you like one. Whereas when the LSRP guys start coming in, yeah, they know how to RP the culture and everything, but they still think it's LSRP.
Yeah,
they don't understand civilians in the hood. Like on LSRP, there was no civilians. You can't have a civilian in the hood. You walk around, as soon as they see you on the screenshot.
Exactly, you're dead.
You are
straight genocide. Yeah, they wipe you out.
And to be honest, no one in LA is just pressing random civilians. Right. I've seen this so many times.
Like, they're pressing random civilians. It's just not everyone is doing it. It's certain people that's doing it. Like if you wake up and you're gonna do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You gotta look at it. Who's doing the pressing though?
Gang member. It's you're a hardcore gang member, a softcore lesbian, or like, you know what I'm saying? A dramatic role player. Like, nobody has time for
So what are the cool points, right?
Let's let Spider-Man go so that way we can start wrapping up this section.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap up here in a little bit, but let's get our last thoughts out of the way here.
No, I was just saying on the pressing thing, like people still get pressed, like even being like, especially if you got younger members, they're gonna press like somebody who's at their age range that they don't recognize. But when I walk through, when I'm driving around, or fucking personally, I've seen like a 60-year-old or 50-year-old man walk through the hood and they're like, "Where are you from?" Like, bro, this man is on a cane, and you ask him.
I'm glad
Spider, do you think there are any? Hold on, guys. Spider, do you think there are any factions currently that are like could be lauded as a proper black faction?
Yeah, who do we look up to?
All right, I'm not going to be biased because my boys are in it, and it's not technically black, but it is a Crip faction. I do like the SOS gang. The other ones I haven't really paid attention to because, like, I haven't really been in tune with it.
Yeah, I've heard some rough stuff about some of these other gangs out there.
I have nothing but hate for Crew, but I've heard, exactly. I have nothing but hate for Crew, but I've heard good things out of this faction. I love their good things about Trey. I mean, not H.A. Hoover Locos. Like, there's some good ones coming up, bro.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I don't know them, Fort Trey gangsters, Grove Street gangster, Crip, whatever, they seem like they know what they're doing. Even though you look at the screens, you're like, oh, they're not the best. It's
so
not
we have
screenshot.
We have new factions to look forward to.
Darkside gets hate for no reason, in my opinion. They mess up sometimes, but I actually think Darkside.
Well, on the same coin, then Spider, Doing Faction's doing it pretty bad right now.
Topio got a lot better.
You're thinking you're doing pretty bad?
Yeah, Doing Faction's doing it pretty bad right now. I'm sorry, Gum.
Yeah.
He's very quiet, Compton. You're very quiet. I hate to talk over you like that.
Oh, damn. Hold on. Who's next? You?
No, okay, see what you were saying, because, yeah.
All right. I mean, even though I talk shit to Topio, he's good at passive gang roleplay. He's been like this since LSRP. He got better, you know. So I give Darkside his credit too.
Okay.
And Hillside still up there.
But and like someone was saying, every time a black faction takes one step forward, we get 3 steps back with like Brain Dead or what's the Young Money guys were all right. Their concept was a little weird, but they're all right. But we just take 3 steps back.
Let's hope we incubate that a little bit, but I think we still need a list from Spider of the shittier factions.
I was gonna ask you, Spider. Yeah, what if some factions that don't make the cut at all?
I don't know for sure. Like on my findings on this one, but White City, there's 2 issues I had with them, and if it was them, then my issue lasts. But a hit got done in a fucking G-Wagon. with AKs and like 7 people. And I'm like, bro, if in any life, if I was a gang member in any life and somebody rolled up to me and said, yo, we need a G-Wagon to do a hit, I'm shooting you because I'm not taking that shit out there.
You can't have
like you're the most
and then
like you're the only person in the hood.
there's
Hold on.
No, at that point you're walking. Like I'm not taking my G-Wagon. You're walking. And then I was on patrol with my police officer. At this point, I was a gang unit. I'm sitting off in the side, and this dude walks up here. I'm gonna leave names out of it. And he walks up to my hood of my car and slaps on. He says, "Stop watching me, pedophile." And I'm like, "What?" So I let it go. Whatever.
Situation. Yeah.
So I let it go. Whatever. I just skipped it. So the next day I come sit in the same spot because I normally sit there because a lot of shootings happen in this particular area in White City. Dude again walks over. His homeboy comes over. Is like, "Bro, stop going over there." Blah blah. He comes over. He's like, "Why are you watching me?" Slapping my hood. Blah blah. You're a pedophile. You're a freak. Blah blah. And I'm trying to explain to him, like, bro, you realize that police sit in areas. Like, not everybody walks up and says that you're a pedophile. And it can continuously happen because they walk up to my car and be like, "What are you looking for?" And I'm like, "Bro, if I was not looking for you, now you gave me a reason to look at you. Why are you over here? You came all the way down the street to ask me what I'm doing." Like,
I can't.
There's no cap.
I can't think of a more perfect
one thing.
segue. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bader. Bader's been talked over a little bit. Let's let him have his piece.
Yeah, I just have one thing to say about White City, right? To be fair, I've brought drugs off them a few times, and they don't seem that bad. But maybe it was maybe it was an outsider and the G-Wagon thing. Like, are you positive that it was them? Because my experience with them
again, that's why I said I'm not sure in that situation. I don't know for sure if that was them. I thought it was, and at the time when I saw whatever video circulated after I responded to that shooting, I thought it was them. So I don't know for sure. And I'm saying it could be somebody that's just like not the greatest role player. Because I mean, even in Hillside, we had a dude get jumped in. He ran to the tattoo shop, got fully inked in seconds. So I mean, every faction's got its wrong.
Because you know when you run like a big gang, especially a black gang, a lot of noobs are gonna join you.
Yeah, you're gonna
100%.
And they should never be exactly, and they should never hold the whole faction responsible over like outsiders that have no involvement.
Well, on the flip side, it's the leader's responsibility to police their members.
Yeah, exactly. But outsiders, you cannot control them.
I think we've learned.
You don't even know them.
I think we've learned those outsiders will fall off, and if we learned anything from tonight's discussion, it's that it's twofold. It is leaders. It's up to leaders.
I would shit can them.
When I install a faction, it's not just the outsiders. I'm looking at the direct people that's like, front runners for this faction that's posting screens and doing this and that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. White City is, man. I don't want to say it, man.
Anyway, boys, we've talked about plenty of time. We're almost at 40 minutes talking about Black Ops.
We've learned our lessons, I think.
Can I boil this down into 2 points? Let's stop the block lives.
Make them quick. Make them quick.
Let's stop the block lives. Let's speak like normal human beings. Stop with the names and let's do better, guys.
Let's not be racist. It's a general rule of courtesy.
Please not see someone with the fucking name Trayvon Johnson, fucking Wegman.
Hey, here's hoping, man. Here's hoping.
Wegman Swan. I don't want to see that. Please.
But hey, listen, guys. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you.
We'll hopefully have you guys on for. Yeah.
We will definitely be
real briefly before you guys go. Real briefly, any thoughts on the Supreme Black Nation?
Okay.
They're not supreme at all.
don't waste our guests' time.
That's it. Thank you, boys.
Compton, Spider, it's been an absolute pleasure. And going off of cops being pedophiles for doing their jobs, let's go ahead and do we have any other donations or anything?
Yeah, do we have anything to read out?
Do we have any other donations? I don't think we do.
That breaks my heart.
Well, that leads us right into a topic, which is a favorite topic of all the members of the IFC combined, I think, and that's the LSPD.
It's what brings us together. Without the LSPD.
Man, where to start with the LSPD, man? By the way, guys, you guys remember we had a chimp out yesterday, or not the day before that, actually.
Oh, dude!
Who wants to talk about that?
Yeah, someone film
here, bro. I'll give you a quick rundown of what happened. If you want to go ahead.
I can talk about it if you guys want.
Well, I'll say this. Azuna begged me to send him a faction invite. Upon me sending him the invite, he decided to come out with a hit list of people he was going to bully. What's entering the chat?
Can we get the hit list public? Can we get the hit list?
Can we get that released, please?
Like, anybody has it.
Hold on, just a quick question. Does anyone have logs of what he tried to say? Because I really want to laugh.
If you search for his name in there, you should be able to find them.
Yeah.
Release them.
So,
compile them and release them.
The issue... Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny because this guy joined. This fucking guy joins. I think this was Aging. I think not the other guy. He joins and he makes this big statement of being like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck at all about any of you guys. I'm just here to troll. You know, I'm fucking around." And the guy's blocking people, getting pissed off, fucking throwing a tantrum, saying he's making hit lists on people. Like, these are not stable individuals, man.
He's not a stable guy. After what happened with him in the shootout with Avenues, it's clear like this guy is out of control.
I think Avenues rearranged his fucking brain cells.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny we call him out of control because that's what our OOC stands for. Is out of control, isn't it?
Yeah. Bro, he got killed so bad. He got killed so bad his chromosomes rearranged themselves, man. They fucking fried up.
I have a question about this guy, right? So, one thing I've seen the whole IFC server in Unity on is how bad the Azuna brothers are, and people do not get along in there. They hate each other, and I know there's like been a bunch of reports on them, and they've been warned. How come they haven't been removed yet? I don't really keep up with people.
The thing about it's a friendship circle. It's a friendship.
Yeah,
circle. He has a lot of charisma in the chat. He talks to the higher guys.
It's a boys' club. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys should know by now, everyone really knows this, that LSPD for the longest time occupies a position of privilege in the server. They do. Yeah. They get away with so much shit that no one else would ever get away with.
But it's not just that they get away with just that. It's what Fyodor said. It is a friendship circle, and I think it's a group of like-minded individuals who all have not only protagonist syndrome. I mean, it's some young Indiana Jones bullshit to have two brothers that are solving crimes together.
Wearing skinny jeans with full beards while they go around.
Exactly.
I think the problem with LSPD is that they don't realize how easy it is. Okay, for example, right? When a guy gets on a traffic stop, he loses everything. That's fine. But a cop, if he dies, he doesn't lose anything.
Well, before we touch that, Fyodor, just my point with that was that they're all on that same page of not losing, right? Of being the hero. That's it rolls into what you're saying. That all of them in a heartbeat, if they had a friend that was close enough to them that wanted to role play their brother, they would do it. They would totally do it. 90% of the people, I don't mean that literally. I mean 90% of the people there are willing to do very weird things just to try to make their police officers stand out. Yeah,
like Invictus, known PD role player, cucked up to the head of the PD to rise through the ranks. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, man. We've seen the screenshots. The guy is a sexual deviant, and he needs to be looked into by Nervous.
I want you to hold that thought, Fyodor, because we're going to talk about the staff team right after this. We'll get there. We might. This might be our last podcast again.
I have a question for Fyodor. Do you think PD being bad has resulted into Gang RP being bad? Do you think they've helped ruin it?
Is it a cycle?
I think it's it's definitely a cycle. I mean, Gang RP is no saint, and we need to shoulder our own responsibility. But PD not willing to have realistic interactions. And when I say PD, I don't mean everybody in PD. There's some good guys in PD, right? But the majority of PD are just bad. Like,
I don't
know if you guys remember, but not that long ago, like I want to say like 6 months ago, 5-6 months ago, there were like nonstop reports on PD being shit canned. Like the reports being thrown out without any investigation at all.
Yeah. Just to add on this real quick, they were all like, so you had, I think it was Vincenzo Biagni. I don't know what his name was. It was him and some other guy. I think it was one of the Azunas. But they, for six individual reports by different people on like the same subject, like them having unrealistic portrayal or anything, and they were all handled by admins that were part of PD, the current PD handler.
That is so mind-bending that happened, by the way. Like, no other sub-team would ever allow that to happen. No other faction leader could handle their own reports, etc.
But this is still a recurring problem where, like, you have PD admins taking the PD reports, even though members of management have fully stated that, hey,
accountability.
It's in the rules. Like, listen, don't take your faction's reports, especially if they're on the forums. Like, I understand if, like, you're waiting for hours on end and, like, there's a DM report and no one else but you can take it. Okay, not Bond even went out and said, okay, that's allowed. But if a report's posted on the forums and you're a member of that faction, you're not like you're not expected to go ahead and like take it. But the current handler at the time, Selena, she took all 6 reports and just gave them the same warning issue.
All 6.
Over and over, it would just be warning issued, warning issued. How many written warnings do you need to get for that issue? Like
this actually goes beyond that too. This goes into even some of the IC processes because there are judges that are handling their own PD cases.
This is nepotism.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I want to bring in somebody eventually when he's here. Pluto, if you're there, please request to speak here.
It's not fair.
Give some insight on that issue.
Do we want to save?
1 minute.
Do you guys remember when PD bugged up the street on Hillside, and it was a massive scandal, and it was swept under the rug quickly, with Nervous announcing several key announcements regarding 1.1. It was a massive scandal, and he unironically, swept it under the rug.
Yeah, typical PD, privileged position, man.
Everything. You gotta admit though, like while it was being swept, like publicly when it came to the reports, it was being swept under the rug. But there was action taken against it because IFM reached out to the leadership of the JSA or whoever was in charge of Gov at the time. They brought him into the Discord. We had a discussion about it. And like the guy, I think Klein, the old governor, like he was just not willing to basically say, okay, yeah, we fucked up, to the point where like even Nervous had to get involved and say like,
that's a common theme in the LSPD where they will not take responsibility for.
Well, Klein was the head of JSA, and he also was.
Yeah, he was the head of Gov and JSA at the time.
Yeah,
and
wasn't there a meltdown with the JSA?
Yeah, there was. This is the one where like they had like the suicide pact where it's like, you're going, I'm going.
And they so lame.
Do you remember when the Azunas were getting threatened with a report by Nano, and then he threatened to say like, "We're sick and tired of this group up against PD."
They're the victims.
Yeah.
Okay, this victim complex stuff. Listen, would you guys mind if I give you my harebrained theory here? I know I'm the half-baked guy, but hear me out.
You're the chemical smith. You're here to talk to the elder gods.
Just compiling what we've been talking about, these issues. Okay, I was caught on an interesting thought. We talk about what kind of characters are getting rolled into the LSPD, and it becomes a question of what do you do off duty, and then we start crossing into the topic of ERP. Right now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But on that topic, the person like SD, what I notice about SD, not just the people that I know personally, but most SD people, they're involved in illegal factions, right? They're involved in some variety of illegal role play. Now, the funny thing about illegal role play is it doesn't have to be selling drugs or guns. It can just be being a normal person who gets into trouble sometimes, right? Yeah. And the question becomes then, the people that join the sheriff's department are usually the runoff that aren't accepted into the LSPD because it is a club of people who, when they are off duty, want to remain the same hero character and get their rocks off because there's nothing else they can do. They can't run drugs. They can't shoot anybody. They just want to race and fuck. That's all. So,
it is true, man.
You see what I'm getting at?
But the thing is unfortunately with LSPD, as we all know, it does not extend to just the human characters that they want to fuck.
Right. Rest in peace, Rocky.
Ooh. R.I.P. Rocky, dude.
R.I.P.
Well, the thing is,
those who know, bro. Those who know. Go ahead.
You have guys like Nate, Notbond, and Bjork who are leading it, who are known mall rats within the community. Right. So when you have weak leadership, it kind of translates into what happens with the faction. No one's held accountable. No one's saying, "Hey, man, maybe like develop a rookie cop who rises through the ranks." And you know how that kind of vibe is. Realism. Right. It's just guys that hop in first day. They're stopping gunfights. It's like cops and robbers server at this point.
Well, they want to be entertained, and I think they have a right to be entertained. But the problem is that we're letting them entertain themselves the wrong way. I think we're trying to let our guest Pluto in, and I'd like to ask him the same question before we introduce him.
He's having a bit of trouble.
He can't actually.
I sent him an invite to join. All he has to do is accept it. It's in one of the bars there.
Then I'll ask this question while we wait on him.
Poop, fart, mega balls.
Yeah, if that is the problem, the solution then is how do we entertain normal, decent human beings who want to be LSPD when they go off duty? How do we retain quality police role play where being a police officer is just peripheral to them being a normal human?
I've known a couple of realistic cops. I just can't think of any.
Who was there was like this one lady. What's it called? Pluto is saying that
Pluto is delayed. He appears to have smoked himself retarded.
I think Spider-Man is also saying that he is involved in the gang unit for the LSPD. So he can probably give us some insight on this as well.
The Azunas, hopefully the Azunas. I'd love to know more about those guys.
Yeah,
I am the biggest fan of the Azunas, and I would love to have them on someday.
Spider-Man, all you have to do is hit accept.
So what's up, Spider? Welcome back, Spider.
Welcome back.
I thought we got rid of your ass, but I guess you're back now.
Oh, all right.
No, welcome back, man. So the Azunas, bro, what's going on there, man?
I really, honestly, don't deal with them a lot, so I can't really comment on that.
Do you have any guesses or insight you could offer about those guys?
I don't think he's playing the political card, man.
No, because they're definitely they're in a different realm than I am. I'm uniformed. They're detectives, so I don't really know what they really deal with.
Okay.
Well, they were detectives though. They were previously.
As
they are detectives. I'm saying
okay. Well, now I think they were demoted from being detectives.
Oh,
yeah, but as a member of the LSPD, Spider-Man, what's your inside looking out? Why do you think? Well, what do you think the main problems are when it comes to why the server perceives members of the LSPD this way?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of I can't name specifically, but there's a lot of people that only do law enforcement roleplay and have no outside life, and their characters just harden instantly.
Addicted to paperwork.
It's RoboCop. There's some RoboCops to it. Not everybody, but it's some people that do that. And like with me specifically, because I'm an FTO, I try to get rookies that actually role play and actually portray a character more than I'm on here because
you're trying to fix these dummies.
Well, let me ask you a question. So you have a different POV because you're actually in PD, right?
Yeah.
What do you perceive of the actual illegal role play and our interactions with you guys? Okay, so we should talk PD all the time, but what does PD actually think about how we?
It's a good question. Yeah. What are their thoughts about us?
I mean, it depends on who you run into, because you got some people that are some of the people we run into are good, they know what they're doing, and then you got some of the people who are like, oh, I'm 15 years old, I have a car fully paid off, I have my own house, and I don't have a record, but I'm still going to shoot at you because I have a gun in my pocket. So you'd rather me not find the gun, you get maybe 3-4 months in jail, then you shoot at us, and now you just PK'd, and it's over for you. That's it.
Yeah.
Or if you go to jail, you're going to jail for life. It's
how often do you see that? How often do you see those kind of interactions on the server?
A lot. You'd be surprised. A lot.
But I mean, listen, just before I ask my next question, I just wanted to say we got a donation from MS. Mother Superior donated $5. Said big shout out to all the homies in Operation Safe Streets and Operation Safe Jails, especially Gremlin from North County Correctional Facility.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the
fuck is that guy?
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but
even though
he's been a supporter. One day, probably he'll be back on the admin team. Hopefully. Here's my question. Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think PD is getting away with everything? When it comes to form report wise, why do you think it took? Why do you think six reports were made on 2 specific individuals over and over again, but all that happened was a verbal warning every single time? Especially when you have PD admins handling.
To be honest, I'm fully for. I don't know how crunched the staff team is, but I'm fully for PD admins not handling PD cases, because at the end of the day, everybody's human, and while you say you're supposed to be impartial and unbiased, it can still happen, because if you're PD and you're an admin and most of the time you're hanging around PD, you're probably going to make influenced decisions. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but it could
Peter
be.
Pergo donated
but I think
$1.
it's mainly
What up, G?
What's the word for it? Conflict of interest, I guess. And that's.
Do you think majority of your coworkers? Okay, so there's this big theory that, well, it's not even a theory. There's been proof of mass ERP groups and a lot of sketchy shit going down in PD. do you think majority of the people you role play with in PD are displaying actual characters and are displaying humans that would like, you know what I'm trying to get at with this question, or?
Yeah. So
do you think it's a stereotype?
It's like it's one of those from the outside looking in, because you don't have a lot of cops that make form. What's it? It's more common to see a screenshot thread or a light thread from a criminal RP than a cop.
$3.
So if you're a criminal RP or outside the PD, you don't see the inside or the outside lives of PD because you're not role playing with them like that. Normally, role playing. Yeah. So most of the people I role play with, and I'll just say a few names. You got Jennifer Falcon, Ann Foster, who's a couple others? Freaking myself, Carlos Medina, Tyron Davis. Most of those officers that I stick in the realm with, they portray a good character. They portray a character outside of work. They have an off-duty life. All that. A lot of people you're not going to see, because I myself, like, I just started my screenshot thread. You wouldn't know I RP'd off duty if you didn't see me. But
right, so there's some good ones. Okay, there's some good ones. Not everybody's abusing dogs or creeping on people in TeamSpeak. Like
I've run into one or two good LSPD.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty prominent, well, you might call him a harasser, abuser in LSPD. You might know who I'm talking about, Spider. I don't want to blast anything out there, but you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be exposed one of these days. I tell you what, motherfuckers, we're gonna find that guy.
Yo,
before we get to that one, let me just get these donations.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about Pluto as well, because he came in here.
Oh, yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah. Then once I get these, we'll get Pluto. But IFC Fund Manager has donated $3. He said no managers allowed. I'm assuming he's talking about no managers allowed being in PD specifically. Peter Pergo has also said he also donated another $1. He said, "A blast. What up, G?
What up, Pete?"
Yeah.
All right, then.
What an incredible clip of the Azunas that's playing here.
So we gotta keep on moving, boys. But so Pluto.
Wow. All right.
We brought you in to get some of the your thoughts really on what's going on with the justice situation at the moment. The courts,
Pluto, welcome,
etc. Mention promotions in LSPD. Bader knows him, Benavides. He was like, he created fucking PD on LSRP. He got denied for detective for whatever reason, because they put some fucking idiot CRPers there on a detective position, but they skipped him, who actually roleplays a character. Because, admins are pushing their people in.
Well, it's because he roleplays a character. That was his
Pluto, can you try turning your output volume up a little bit more as well?
I do have a question. I do have a question for you, Pluto. There's been allegations that have been proven that PD judges are specifically handling PD court cases. I think there was a whistleblower on that. I don't want to disclose who the whistleblower was. If you can't put the pieces together, you're an idiot. But has the situation changed since that whole thing got cracked, or?
Like, I don't know. Like, it's still happening. Like, I thought it was Klein's issue. Like, problem was in Klein and forensic, but shit is still happening.
The problem is bigger than that.
Matmox just added 4 PD judges or something like that. I'm not sure. I know 2 of them. Other 2, I don't know. So,
well, if they're PD judges, that might be fine, because they might be the only ones that are applying. To be honest,
well,
if no one else is applying,
I doubt everyone applied. That's the issue.
The thing is, it's not just PD, or there's just no credibility between legal factions. They get away with so much. Like, for example, Peter Conti and the corrupt guy. Peter Conti was told he can't run his faction and he can't come back, whereas a corrupt guy was able to come back and take leadership in government 2 months later. It's not fair. Like, there's no they don't get held. No, it's not just PD. It's every legal faction doesn't get held accountable, whereas illegal factions are so quick to get fucked over for not paying fucking parking tickets. No, you change leadership. You fire people.
Yeah, it's leadership.
I'm not saying
resistant to change.
Yeah, I'm not saying, hey, get rid of them. What I'm saying is you can start by getting rid of that shitty mentality.
The issue with what you're saying is the people that will hold people accountable are Bjork, Not Bond, and Nervous. Nervous I like, Bjork and Not Bond, Yeah.
Well, one of those two has a direct link to PD and is actively.
This is the issue. We have. Remember these admin tier lists because it's interesting to hear how many who's you hear, and we have a gluttony of admins.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, our next topic actually.
Yeah.
We want to go right into it.
Right. If we want to just start segueing into
we're wasting time.
Right. We're eating up time here. It is on topic though. This is perfect. We have a plethora of new admins that with just a little bit of time and training will definitely be able to handle cases like that. Hopefully be able to handle cases.
I'm not
like
so
that.
convinced. There's a lot
I know.
of
Look, I'm being too hopeful. I'm going to be the optimist here. That's going to be
okay. That's good. You be the optimist. I'll be the realist, and Pedro will be the pessimist.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. After the last podcast, I don't have any faith because I heard from a lot of sources I won't disclose to that Nadex allegedly PM Nervous demanding that we get this podcast shut down. So if some guy
I am hoping that it's merely an image thing rather than anything to do with the click.
Nadex man, he's a sad case with that guy, man. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for somebody that's so deranged. That I'm sure you guys have seen his comments in the IFM Discord. He went on a
He chimped out.
He did.
Wait, how did he chimp out?
Yeah, explain what happened, Fedor. You were there live.
You need a retelling.
So I was talking to Nadex. We were having a conversation and just about the quality of ABZ. I was saying it's a trash faction, and he says the Black Card's trash, whatever. And then I call out the fact that he's been scripting roleplay, and I said, why is an admin faction, a roleplay quality management faction, scripting roleplay? And
can you send some of their horrible screenshots for the viewers? Because I've seen some questionable shit. Yeah,
is it possible to get those up?
Like the guy selling spirits, please. Can someone get that up? Because I think people need to see how
I want this one. I want this one up on screen, Conwell, if you can.
Yeah, just get all the screenshots of what he was saying because they speak for themselves, really.
Let's get a little.
The screens of what he was saying.
Is it true though, Fedor? You said is this actually like a roleplay quality management faction? Like this is like they all came together to make one.
Yeah.
I mean, you have like everyone from roleplay quality.
I mean, it's pretty baffling, man. It just goes to show you that these guys are not qualified to judge roleplay. They aren't.
They literally said, "Who cares if we script roleplay?" Something along like scripting roleplay is just a natural part of it, or something like
that. Can I just want to point out? I want to point out what my reaction was when I was notified that there was a roleplay quality management team. Was what?
Exactly.
That exists. Who the fuck are these guys?
Remember who runs it. Remember who runs it.
You got to think about it, right? They have Jax, Nadex. They literally stole a faction from someone, and then they made it worse. I've never met someone like that.
I will never forgive them for what they did to Deco and West.
Deco, man, we're so sorry if you hear this, man. We're so sorry what they did to you, man.
They banned Deco and YSL for having a street beef with members of K-Town. What happened was there was a brawl, someone got shot, and then they contacted Moonsong, who was involved with K-Town at the time, and Moonsong just ends up banning both Deco and YSL for DM. And they and then they just steal their faction from them. And
I will say
shit all over their idea.
I will say someone like Nadex isn't a solid guy. I called him out for banning me for racist. Whatever I said that was racist. I said coon. And he proceeds to brag. Wait, can I not say that? I'm so sorry. But he proceeds to brag.
You said it at all.
Yeah, the way he said it was like matter of fact.
Yeah, go on.
He proceeds to brag about him banning his friends. I don't know if you want a guy like that around you, but I don't want a guy that's willing to say,
really questionable judgment.
My friend. Yeah, this guy's sick.
To add on to that, like it wasn't like you just said that in like a GT World Discord or something, right? You said it in your faction chat to your own faction members, joking around, and he combed through the logs like a fucking snake to go find that and ban you for it.
The day he got access to like the chat logs of the server, that's what he spent his entire day doing, bro.
Yeah, he was trying to impress people, trying to impress the big wigs.
batting your own
just
friends.
sat there doing that.
It's clear this guy wants management.
Hold
one
on,
day.
hold on. Because we have people on the thing, right? Can you guys pull up the screenshots of them selling spirits, please? Like, I want people to see this, so they don't think we're
let me go through and see if I can find the.
Yeah, because
throw those up if you can. Yeah, throw those up.
Yeah, like
That was
because
really good.
people might think we're bullshitting, but no, they were selling spirits.
It's real.
This is just one part of the problem, too. This is just one part of the problem. There's a lot of fucking incompetent, fucking frankly stupid admins out there.
Yeah,
they make questionable decisions on the back of Rule Zero. There's no judge of quality. There's no merit to get into the admin team to begin with. It's a popularity contest.
Let me ask you a question. Would you do it for free again?
Do what?
Be an admin.
Be an admin?
Do you want an admin here? Yeah. Do
I want a second job?
Did you hear that? Oh, okay. That's your first reaction. Nobody wants to do this shit. Anybody?
Some people do. Some people do.
Yo, some people do.
I can do it, but the thing is that it's such a pain in the ass.
The people who want to do it are the ones who get the power and then they go in, and the first thing they do is read through the logs. That's the people who want to do it.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Bader.
Right, yeah. The screenshots again put up finally, but no, the people that want to do it that are like good get blackballed, bro. They get told.
If you don't make the right people happy, the right people happy, you will not get in staff.
So you're saying it's a circle jerk. It's just a big circle jerk.
There are so many. Well, to give you an example, guys, there were so many times you can all relate to this where people have gone admin on the staff updates, and everyone's just like, "Who the fuck is that?"
It's more and more people that I don't recognize, right?
TLDR, you have to be a deviant to go up in the admin team.
I mean, it's not even that. It's like you have to be part of this. Look, you gotta think about it.
Do you have an example, by the way, Bader? While you're there?
Are you talking about the admin that teleports to admin seats wearing like the ERP outfit?
Oh my god! That sorry to interrupt you guys. I'm really sorry, but we're getting excited here.
Yeah,
that fucking video of Invictus just showing up in the fucking stripper outfit.
It's
so indicative of what it is. Like,
can we get this up on the screen? This video up.
Do we have a link to it? Yeah, someone get a link to it.
I'm gonna be
posted the link in the.
Can I be completely honest with you guys?
Go ahead.
Invictus should be permanently banned and removed for pedophile actions.
We don't know who's a pedophile.
That's a bit of a wild.
You know, you can claim, we should ban all people that do ERP under the age of 12. What if I was a 12-year-old?
All I gotta say, bro.
Well, okay. That's a
I'm getting this from sources in the chat right now, multiple sources in the chat right now, saying that Invictus got netted in by 6 people during the same occasion. So that's just like you gotta think like, what are these admins doing on their free time?
Yeah, please repeat that.
Run that by me again.
From multiple sources in the chat.
Hang on, we have it up on the screen.
We can't get it up on the screen, but we have the video up.
Okay, we have the video. We have the video. If you turn your attention to the stream, please.
Look at this deviant behavior. There's no shame whatsoever.
Arcan, please finish that story you were repeating again. I need to hear it again.
During a party in the server, apparently, Invictus's character was just ran through by six different people.
This is
like you gotta think like, what are these admins doing on their free time?
What is the mind behind that, man?
At this point, this is not roleplay anymore. This is like exploring some.
What Bader said is it's funny. It caught me that this is like it's like someone who's just tired. They're like, "Oh, what the fuck do you want? I'm trying to come. Can I help you?"
I'm trying to come, motherfucker.
This is like exploring his sexual fitness.
All I'm saying is, you guys wonder why your break-in requests take long. This is why.
Exactly. You know what? You're exactly right. I've gone through logs. I've had a lot of logs given to me by some good guys up top about admins doing some very strange things, very questionable things, weird sexual situations, weird fucking.
What is the allegation? I don't want to bring up allegations, but cheesy and talking to females, like it's just.
Don't even get me started, bro.
Cheesy, you're about to wind me up, Fedor.
Right.
Cheesy is basically. We're talking about Cheesy, right? Cheesy, right?
If you look
Cheesy
is
basically one step away from being like Jeffrey Epstein, like in jail. Hating himself.
He's gonna hit up the airport.
All I gotta say,
one day the feds are gonna look at his computer. They're gonna find a whole bunch of shit on there, and he's gonna be in jail. Simple as that.
Before you know it, there's gonna be a secret update, and they're gonna add Caio Perico or whatever the fuck, and he's gonna get a little jet. Yeah, he's gonna fly over there. We're gonna stumble on that, there's going to be like 7 private jets there, and they're all going to be admins. Oh my god, what are you doing?
I'm not talking on my ass, by the way. I have witness accounts of Cheesy and his behavior.
You gotta also ask yourself, Doosty, what was Doosty caught doing? He was being in a van on the road.
Hashtag
what was Doosty doing?
I'll give it to Doosty because he came in and he explained himself.
You know what?
And he tried.
I won't because you know what he did right after he came in and explained himself? He pulled a gun out on 2 people on a bike because they pulled up on the driveway. On his white female character that barely
he's definitely into some creepy,
Look. He's questionable, but I'll give it to him for trying to come and explain himself. At least he's not trying to ban us. So
to be fair,
he rolls with the punches. I'll give him that.
Bader has told me it's true.
Like, you see like a lot of these admins and they're RPing like these weird concepts. I'm pretty sure at some point like a chat log got leaked of Fenrir's character Catalina Juarez, who went from like a stripper in a street gang all the way to like leading the street gang and then declaring a war on MA and then going from that to owning a resort and bathing in like the blood. Like literally RP bathing in the blood.
We should say, guys, it's not just deviancy. A lot of admins that are coming through have been fucking crooked as hell. Crooked as a motherfucker.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on Effion, bro. Effion and property management. That is a gang.
Explain what Effion did.
That is a literal gang. All
right.
Wait, what did Effion do?
All right, guys.
I don't know.
Let's say you have a property for 9 months. You've been running this leased property for 9 months straight. It's an active property. People enjoy coming to it. It's regarded as one of the best properties in the game. Then, out of nowhere, you fire someone because they took an IC issue, OSC. They nuked your face browser for the property, so you fire them. You're like, okay, I don't want you affiliated anymore. And what they do is they go to a server and start complaining about it. Now, Effion, he was on leave of absence at this point. Like, he was on completely leave of absence. Like, he wasn't involved in doing any administrative things. He was basically just going to redirect you over to other admins. So he sees that this female is complaining that, okay, yeah, I got fired. These people are horrible. They don't know what they're doing. They're abusing their status as a club. And without consulting you, he just takes away a business from you, the one that you've owned for 9 months. And what does he end up doing after that? He just throws it on Selena's lap and then comes into a Discord and says, yeah, the reason your business got taken away from you was because you're not allowed to hire managers.
This is the stolen.
Because you go into a McDonald's in real life and the CEO's like standing behind you. He's making your burgers for you, bro. He's getting your fries ready for you.
I've heard some disturbing things at Effion. I've heard like a lot of corruption allegations.
Well, what else has been allegated? I mean, obviously we can't say it's.
I don't want to say it's disgusting.
Honestly, some of the track records of some of these guys, I completely believe it, man.
Like, you have like these gangs that are just targeting people on their, like, if you want to talk about like these admin cliques, the biggest clique is PM. They vote as a block on who to bring in. They vote as a block.
Do you want a conspirity theory? You want my 2 cents on that?
Give us the big enchilada, Skip. The big enchilada.
Here's my Dale Grimmel theory. Okay, I'm gonna light up a dart here. Okay. I think because the property management clique is moving as one, right? What's the biggest property besides personal homes in Los Santos? It's clubs. It's clubs.
Oh, God. We're going full X Jones here with this one.
Oh, no.
What do you need to guarantee
taking properties?
Yeah, what do you need to guarantee more clubs, which lead to more ERP? Because you need some kind of meeting place, you know.
So you're saying there's a sexual cabal going around?
Okay, I think there is.
I'm not really convinced. I'm not completely convinced at this, but it's interesting.
All right,
it's interesting.
Just to go away from the conspiracy theories and back to like what they're actually doing. Like,
I mean, here's the worst part, by the way. Here's the worst part. You're telling the truth. I'm giving you a wild theory, but all of this has been true so far. That's the worst part. Go on. I'm sorry.
Well, that reminds me. I remember an admin that had a rape fetish. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
On behalf of that, I don't know if I want to say the name.
I forgot who it was, but yeah, I remember.
What the hell was his name? Had a D in the name. Fuck.
What's it called? Anyways,
go ahead. Yeah.
You have like just not even like the business thing, where they're like just fucking people over when it comes to their leases. You have these guys like just taking properties away from people at will. Like there's no system where it's like they run it past anyone. It's like if they decide to take it, they're just gonna take it from you without contacting you. They took away someone's $750,000 mirror park house, like just at the like snap of a finger. Nothing even told. Just took it away from him. They took away an SD deputy's house in the city because they said, "Oh, SD shouldn't be living in the city. They should be living in the county." Right. They took away some cop's house in Paleto Bay, saying that, "Oh, you shouldn't be living in Paleto Bay. You should be living in the city."
Have these admins not heard of commuting to work?
Yeah, it's these weird things. They also another brainiac theory from property management is, hey, let's shut down property requests for another 4 weeks after just shutting it down.
I don't understand. They have one job.
That'll solve our backlog, guys.
I just have one thing to say about commuting to work. Okay, my grandfather used to drive 3 hours a day to go to work every day.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Shout out my granddad. Yeah, go on.
I just want to say thank Bader's grandfather for his service.
Exactly.
And on top of
we had
that,
a statement in chat while you're.
Go ahead.
Alongside the lines of that.
Read that off.
He's asking, when are we going to address the ERP question?
The ERP question, yeah.
I think we need to find a solution to that ERP question.
I think this. Bosby knows a lot that he's not willing to divulge. He knows a lot that he's not willing to divulge.
Of course, I think every admin is like, every admin wants to like fucking just at some point just come out and tell everyone, hey, listen, there's rabid retards just running around like making up their own money.
Bosby, in my opinion, is a standard of service how you should follow. Like, you should be an admin.
Like, I'll be really.
Oh yeah, he's a great
honest,
dude.
man.
If an admin is really like worth it, an admin is really worth it on this team, they're always gonna find like at one point you're always gonna find them like being on the IFM team. Like,
honestly, at first, I didn't really believe the allegations that Bosby was homosexual. But
what?
I mean, that's serious. But
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Fader, what are you talking about?
Fedor, I just don't think that you are telling me.
No. Hey, let him air it out. Go on, air it out.
Yeah, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, Fedor.
Say it with your chest. Bosby, if you can join the chat, that'd be great.
Feel free to join.
No, I was gonna say people were saying that Bosby's homosexual and he's part of these sexual cabals.
Who is saying this?
Who's saying that?
I don't know.
Are they calling him sexual deviant as well?
Yeah, I think somebody named Malcolm Baldwin said that.
Yeah, Malcolm Baldwin said this.
But I want to say that Bosby's a stand-up guy and a good member of the IFC.
That I agree with right there. I agree.
Yeah, like again, every time we do these like illegal events where we see like people are voting like what they really think about these admins, you always see the same names pop up at the top, and they're all involved in IFM because not only is it the only team that shows some transparency. Like if there's a decision made, they're going to tell you exactly why it's made. They're not going to go ahead and make a decision and then say, "Oh, you're not privy to this information. I can't divulge this information to you." Like you see that a lot with legal faction management. Whenever they cow down to some of these cliques. You see that with roleplay quality management, where they'll shut down your faction, and then in their Discord, they're going to talk about parking tickets and not tell you, okay, yeah, we shut you down for parking tickets, because they know they're just doing the wrong thing.
Let me just say again, by the way, guys, the admins despise the IFC. A lot of admins do.
I don't understand.
They do not want people talking and having a voice and, getting ideas out there to them.
It's funny we talked about, at least I mentioned it with Black Gang RP, right? That they need to communicate out of character. It's fascinating that the police, when they could be, if they were just, not the police, excuse me. I just had a Freudian slip with the admin team and the police. If the admins would just be a little more cooperative and pleasant to deal with, I feel like most of the issues that we run into could be resolved with a PM.
A lot of them do power trip, though. That Rule Zero man is really a fucking plague. But go ahead, Fedor.
A lot of them got slammed into lockers and wedgied. So when they get a little bit of power,
that's Fyodor's phrase of the night.
Hold on, I got asked a question by someone on Discord, but they won't stay anonymous. Is anyone in IFM in here? If so, can they come on? Because I have a question for them.
Oh yeah, we'd love to have someone from IFM on.
Well, they better join quick because we got about 10 minutes left. It's 12 minutes.
Yeah,
actually.
we are wrapping up soon.
Yeah, this is gonna be controversial to everyone in here. But hey, fuck it, that's what we're here
Can you
for.
give us a hint? What is it?
Ooh,
yeah, it's actually against the IFC.
Oh,
So.
Get an IFM admin in the voice.
Wait, is it against me? Because I might chip out.
No. It's against the IFC. It's against the IFC.
It's against the IFC as a.
I mean, are you going to disclose it regardless if we don't?
Well, there's no one's going to join, so might as well just bring it up. Yeah.
Okay, so they asked. They said, why doesn't IFM let people know why they've been denied supplier, and why is it people in the IFC circle jerk that get supplier?
Conspiracy theories. I like it.
My tinfoil hat is tingling.
Let's see.
I want to go to somebody here who definitely has voiced this in the past.
Right.
Fedor, yeah. I want to talk to you.
This person.
I'm definitely not part of.
Yeah. This person wants to stay anonymous because But go on.
Yeah, Fedor, go ahead. Speak your mind, man, because I know you were opinionated.
Yeah.
There's no chance that IFM gives my faction supplier because I'm part of some circle jerk, bro. I'm one of the most controversial figures.
Yeah, right.
So am I. Yeah, all of us are really. A lot of us are.
I can go through. Like I'm looking at the IFC, like the top people in the IFC, and I can only see, let's say, one. Yeah, there's one person with the elder rank that has.
Guys, we are not the best friends with the management on the server. I'll be honest.
I have the elder rank and I've been banned 5 times.
Yeah. You have like from the elder rank alone, there's only one person that has supplier actively right now has supplier.
You know,
I'll admit.
Oh man,
I don't even hold my faction supplier because I knew that they would never trust me.
Fedor, it's funny you mentioned that, Fedor, because in the chat, Forrest says Fedor's faction gets bows and arrows as suppliers.
Bossy is saying that he is able to come on, but I think we might be done by the time.
We got 10 minutes literally.
Let's let him go on because he can address to this person that wants to stay.
I do want to say
we should have him on against IFM for sure.
We should have him on because we will never ever talk about admins again after this.
We're totally never talking about admins.
We'll never
I can easily answer that question though, right? Because they can't just give. They got to give to specific demographics and groups, right? You can't just say, okay, this faction is amazing, so let's give them gun supplier. Because in a perfect world, that would be the case, but that's just not how.
This guy, I would like to know, like, how he got that research. Like, what is he basing that off of?
No, so he's basically saying, right, when IFM denies your supply, they don't give you a reason. So there must be something to it. He wants to know why IFM don't give you a reason.
That's some dumbass logic right there.
So
man.
what happens? What happens with the I can just speculate. But because it's a lot like faction voting, where it's like when you post like a faction thread, and you know how like they deliberate between themselves, like, okay, should we allow them, should we not? That's pretty much what they do along with the supplier. Because even when I was talking to Sergey about this, he said back then even IFM would determine supplier this way, where they just deliberated amongst themselves, and if people just had like shitty, like, you know how many people like probably send them in these like weird stories about, hey, I have a street gang of 3 people. I own this entire block of the city. I'm connected to the Sinaloa cartel. Like, you have some outrageous claims like being like you have like factions popping up that are claiming, I'm connected to Yakuza.
Listen, I was in IFM, and I can tell you some of the ideas you get that no one ever sees because they get shit canned immediately. It's some of the worst ideas you can imagine. Like, there was one that was like a Russian resistant cell in America. Like, it's fucking retarded.
I have heard theories about Chechens with dirty bombs. It's
exactly.
Hold on. This person thanked you guys for addressing those concerns, and he's glad that you guys addressed them. Well, you know what it is because I think. Because they don't give a reason, a lot of people speculate. So it's good that you addressed it.
Because that's the thing, like if
take a look at the screen really quickly. Take a look at the
screen. Very controversial there on that.
Very controversial statement.
Yeah, this is the same guy who banned a bunch of people for saying nigger like this in the F chat and IGGA. He banned around 10 people, bro.
I can't believe
And like
Bader's out of
3 of
control
them
like
were black.
This guy's out of control.
I'm not
Bader, you are.
Bader, we're gonna hold you down, Bader. You're going crazy right now.
Okay, listen, because I'm passionate
Nah,
about
just
what
kidding,
happened.
just kidding.
Right?
Go ahead.
This guy banned a bunch of people, and look at him. This is him being racist, bro. And he banned people for saying.
All I gotta say, dude, is he told us that his probe targeted both legal and illegal factions, but he only banned members of illegal faction. A lot of them being faction, or he claims that he banned a lot of his friends, but
and then he's bragging about that. He's clearly just trying to rise through the ranks of adminship.
For real. And another thing I don't like about him is he made an illegal faction only for him to bitch about him getting investigated by a gang unit. Who the fuck does that?
I like.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I gotta say this every time we talk about this guy's faction, dude.
Yeah.
Why do you make a street gang only to like bitch at people for investigating?
Bro, I've seen so many people bitching IFC and IFM Discord saying, hey, they're like, hey, why don't we get recode? Why are we not in prison? Because of people like that who make factions and then bitch about SD investigating them.
For people that aren't aware, Nadex's faction got pressed by SD, and instead of just role playing it, he took it OSC and complained and bitched and whined. And
he went to like within seconds of being interacted with by SD, he went to executive staff in SD. He went to legal faction management, and he called an admin in game to teleport the detectives away.
I think that Nadex is the biggest threat to roleplay quality the server has seen since Fenrir.
No, I mean we still have wins.
Fascinating, but we do have Whirlwind that I have a personal.
I mean, you want to talk about ERP?
That
guy's name has to come up.
The crazy arsonist who kills people that have restraining orders on him.
The person who kills those who put up restraining orders against them is Nadex.
The guy who plays and interacts with dick girl characters and thinks it's okay.
Yeah, I want to point something out really quickly before we talk about.
He's a piece of shit.
Before we talk about fat Fudacox, I want to mention something.
All right, relax.
That anyone named Whirlwind, I don't like to use the term. Yeah, well, you know what you just said, Bader. So anyone who uses the word Whirlwind, I don't use the word Nazi dog whistle often. But come on, yeah,
that's a pretty aggressive statement right there.
I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I've got a rainbow flag behind me. It's fading in.
But isn't the guy? This guy is trans, isn't he? So I assume it's not.
No,
yeah.
Someone said in chat, Whirlwind is a disgrace to the people of Croatia.
Interesting. A lot of femboys from Croatia, by the way. That is
Forrest, you may very well believe that, Forrest, but I couldn't possibly comment.
I could have covered as well on Croatia.
All
guy's a scumbag, though.
I do have breaking news that he is not trans. He is a femboy, however.
Okay, what's a femboy? I'm a bit.
We're not going to discuss this. We're not discussing like the.
Okay, you can't have. Hang on a second. You can't have.
Hold on.
Podcast. You can't have a podcast about GTA World without talking about femboys.
Well, yeah, we don't have to get into detail. I'm pretty sure everyone watching knows.
But hold on. No, I don't know what a femboy is. I'm very sheltered. Right? Listen, I used to have a normal life, and then I started playing this server. Anyways, what is a femboy? Someone explain to me.
A femboy.
It's like a male that's like into cat like ears and. Like,
I think it's not true. That's incidental. A femboy is a man with mostly feminine characteristics. They've got wide childbearing hips, a voluptuous rear.
That's like a fantasy
They dress like they think that manga is a normal social bearing.
We're vetoing the
while we're waiting on
hang on. Fedor brings up a good point, though. Have you noticed the influx of people dressing up like Japanese schoolgirls on the server? That's them.
Those are them. Seen that, and I don't want to see that.
They have their own club. They have their own club now. Did you know that? That's how far this has gone.
I think that
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of other degenerates, real quick, Fenrir, by the way, rest in piss.
Oh, dude, the guy that was bathing in blood.
Yeah, bathing in blood, groomed teenagers. Very cool guy, right?
Is there evidence of him bathing in blood? Because
Dude,
I'm told there is.
Swear someone
I've been
had
hearing
like,
a lot of people talking about it.
Right, guys,
yeah, I've
I've
seen a picture of the chat log before where they were like trying to do like some vampire RP. It was pretty weird.
Well,
I'll try to find that.
Okay, so,
we're gonna find that for you guys. Publicly.
Judging by vampire roleplay, I don't doubt they actually bathed in blood.
Fedor, you were going to speak before I was speaking there. So go
ahead. Go ahead.
I have one thing to say. Whoever finds those screenshots, I'll give them Discord Nitro. Thanks.
Ooh, we have a bounty.
That's our first bounty, by the way. We have a bounty on that.
Yeah,
please.
To everyone watching, whoever gets
anyone watching, if you have any,
all of you in Radio Land.
Any evidence of admin behavior that is either deviant, weird, or just
you'll get $10.
Talking about,
I will pay $20 to whoever.
Yeah, if a month of Nitro sounds good to you, do the right thing. Okay.
You can either get Nitro or $20 from Thimble and 20 from me. Yep.
Talking about
we don't have cash up in the UK, but
yeah. Capo Regime and Chef. Every time you talk about corrupt admins, you got to talk about these guys. All they would do is they'd get their buddies into the supplier system. Like for the person that was asking about how them thinking that IFM was only like rewarding certain people with supplier, like these guys were the ones that were actually doing
they had a hidden supplier.
Yeah, they would sneak people in.
They had a secret agreement where they would give their own people supplier stuff.
They'd sneak people in. They'd look at current factions that were existing, and they basically do their own, and they'd write out the people.
Yeah, I believe it was Volkar who was their secret supplier. They gave him the supplier for their faction. Which was
all right, Bosky is here.
Bosby,
welcome. Bosby literally has seconds to speak, so that's good. Bosby, you're on for 50 seconds.
I'm calling him. I'm out here in the fucking
He's in the field.
right now. I'm reporting live about the action going on out here. Just want to let you guys know, whatever you guys are talking about, I have no idea what it is. You said something about
people think that IFM is giving people.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so people think that IFM is corrupt with who they give supply to because they don't give reasons as to why they deny people.
And they're all cat girls.
Not people, one person who wants to stay anonymous.
All right,
yeah.
I don't know that.
Got a patchy satellite connection here.
We got to do something about the ERP problem on the server. So
it is a cat girl problem.
About, IFM supply status. Yeah, there's a problem we have to address, and I think it's very important. I'm calling in to let you guys know that.
Thank you, Bosby. Reporting in live from Botswana.
But hold on about the supplier issue. I think that people applying for supplier are all applying for weapon supplier, and they're trying to smuggle guns in from New York. So maybe there's a good reason why.
Right. Bosby, before we.
There's a good reason why IFM doesn't want to give those people denial reasons because they're fucking stupid. They're trying to export guns to the largest gun supplier in the United States. We read an application about somebody trying to get guns in from Albania.
Interesting.
I wonder who that could have been. I wonder who that could have been.
From Albania. Before we lose you, Bosby. Before we lose you, any word from the rebel leaders on the president?
I can't speak on that at the moment. It's still in progress. We're still discussing the details of that, and I'll let you know more as I hear about it. At the moment, it seems like the president was caught in flagrance with somebody. I think he's gay.
Interesting.
Shocking.
The president of Botswana is gay.
From Bosby's mouth directly. President of Botswana is gay.
They're saying my people out there are trying to say that this is actually a curse by a swamp witch. But I'm not so sure about that. I'm going to have to do some more investigation. The ghost people that have been running around at night aren't really being very forthcoming, so I'm gonna have to let you know.
Lay off the drugs.
Some other time.
Well, thank you, Boss B, for that.
Thank you, Boss B.
Role players.
Thank you for reporting in.
Live in the field. That was Boss.
So dedicated, you know. He's so
Yeah,
dedicated.
exactly. And the person who asked the question, thanks you guys. So hey, clearly we got something done. But I want everyone to look at the screenshot that's on the screen.
I just want to point out, Bader, that was the most
deviant
BBC
behavior.
thing you've ever done. And just we got an email from
Just look at
Sam
the
and
avatar.
Hi.
Look at the
Thanks so
content.
much, Sam.
If someone's entire personality on the server revolves around ERP and dick chicks, you gotta ask yourself: Are they really?
Are they fit? Are they fit to tell you how to roleplay?
Oh, this is
I will ERP you in game. Who even says that? What the?
I received a picture not that long ago of one of their roleplay quality management things about a character that was endowed, a female character that was endowed. And Whirlwind said his statement was, "I can confirm it is a dick girl." How could you confirm that? Who knows?
I think to wrap up this conversation, I think that Nervous needs to look into a lot of his admins because there's clearly a lot of sick people in his staff team, and a lot of sick people are rising through the ranks because they're getting promoted by fellow sick people. So if we can just look into that and maybe do a mass firing, that would be good. You know?
Okay.
I think we have to start wrapping up. Yeah,
we're done there. Yeah, that's a great statement to end on. Unless we want to do Q&A, but other than that, that's our.
I'm open to a Q&A. I don't mind starting around.
Only for 5 minutes.
We can sit around in the Discord after this. Like,
We'll do. Why don't we take a little 5 and we can do an extended Q&A for anybody who wants to stay.
Listen. I don't want to be here that long. What are you, crazy?
You don't want to be here that long?
I made my money already.
All right, fellas, you got like a minute. Just type in your questions in the chat. We're gonna lightning round.
Okay, we'll do a quick lightning round.
And like Groovy Charles said, shout out the S tier. Seriously, shout out the S tier. Yeah.
Only admins capable on the server. How do we know that Nervous isn't also part of that group? I mean, Nervous doesn't RP. Like
I believe it.
Thing on the
He has a
server.
family.
In regards to that group you're referring to, it does not exist.
Okay, next question.
Biggest ERPer in the IFC.
Ooh.
I'd say it's Skip.
Yeah, it's definitely me.
It's definitely
me.
Degenerate.
Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Why are unofficial groups still a thing? Well, what's it called? IFM.
I do have a question.
Well, the unofficial groups exist. I can tell you this. I can tell you why this exists. Unofficial groups exist to basically calm people's brains because a lot of people get denied. People get denied, and they have the instinct, the inclination to fucking PM FM admins non-stop, literally non-fucking stop bitching about it. They PM Nervous, they PM management, they try any way they can to have the shit overturned.
It's a participation trophy.
All right, who should be running RP quality management?
Not the people running it right now. That's just
I mean,
I can't everybody there right now.
You know what? Honestly, if my time opens up, I'll fucking do it. Okay, I'm tired of Bosnians and Romanians telling me my English isn't good enough. So then let's get the Urbers out.
You know what? We're gonna put Mother Superior in charge. I think of that sub team.
Yeah, honestly, it would be good. It would be good.
Vader's like, eh.
All right,
why
let's keep going.
Win RP quality management? Well, I'm going to tell you this, dude. A lot of these admins get promoted for staying in the team.
Vader, this is for you, actually.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Once Arcane's finished, this is for you. What's happened to Vader? He was a badass as Navarro on LSRP. Now he's just a party boy ERPer.
Like I was saying earlier in this chat, right? My life used to be normal until I came onto the server. I'm broken now.
You're broken.
I'm broken. I'm not
off the wagon.
Dude, every time I walk outside now, I'm always asking myself, what gang is that?
I used to have a good social life. I used to live good. And now I'm broken.
I wonder what gang that guy's a part of.
Like the deviancy on this server has put me off. I don't even like it. It's bad.
No. Listen, we're in the studio. We're in the studio. He has an IV of roleplay in his arm right now. He's dripping right now. Keep going. I'm sorry.
We've known each other a while. You've never had a social life. Yeah, I was fucking your mum and dad, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Donations. Okay, look at Conwell.
That's it, guys.
Yeah, I have to answer the first question
before we leave. That's all I want to say.
Pluto asked me what I have against Bosnians. It's nothing personal. It's just I was born in an English-speaking country, and when they tell me that my grammar isn't very good, it hurts my feelings. Okay, it makes me feel like I'm broken.
Yeah. Thank you guys for attending again, boys. Thanks you guys for listening. Bader, I hope you receive some therapy for your problems, and I hope the GTA World staff team receives therapy because they seriously need it.
I'm not as bad as them. Remember that, boys. I'm still.
Or better yet, let's put them in an asylum.
We have a thread on the forums. If you guys want to boost that up, the video with the what's it called, the timestamps throughout the podcast.
We'll clean that up for you. And let me end on a positive note here by telling Bader, relapsing is part of recovery. Okay. So on that note, thank you for joining us. Is that it?
Shout out High Mafia, shout out Jam, and yeah, that's it. I think we're done.
Thanks, boys.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you everyone for donations, by the way.
All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rockstar. Fucking with me, call up on the OC and show up and then they shut down. When I always pull up on your block, they make that thing on the bro. I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rock star. Fucking with me, call up on the Uzi and show up and then they shut down.